Hello and welcome! Silrace here with Overwatch, and this is was one of my first Pharah games. I think this is the second one I played with her, I believe. So let's talk about Pharah a little bit on this video while I, do a post-gameplay commentary. I'm not at all good enough to commentate and play at the same time. The main idea is to, learn from my mistakes and other things and so forth. Make better decisions in the game. As usual, I'm trying to hold away from the objective until the objective actually becomes capturable. I don't see the point in, losing teammates, people dying, before the objective actually can be captured. Alright, like have a firefight with the enemy, try to poke the enemy, hold them away from the objective. Yeah, and this is here where I make a mistake by, trying to take advantage of Pharah, positioning possibilities through her flight. Obviously I didn't check behind me. I should have expected somebody to be on the ground to shoot me in the rear when I was up there. But I didn't. This is the one of the reasons I have been shying away a little bit from Pharah when I'm trying to learn the game and maps anyway. Because as Pharah, you already kind of have to know how to get around the maps on the ground to take the most advantage of her mobility, of her ability to fly around the map. Because if you don't know the routes around the maps on the ground, then you don't know where all the enemies will be, where all they can be. So yeah, there is that issue. And this is where I really should have realized that it was his ultimate. He could just do that sort of thing because seeking bullets and all that stuff. And I should have used my wrist rocket to bounce him away from me, so that he would, I would have been able to get to cover from him. Instead, I tried to fight it out with him, which against an ultimate, not obviously a good choice. And here there is a failed wrist rocket to try to knock him over the edge. Absolute fail. But yeah, another thing I really need to get used to is simply but the bullet velocity for this particular rocket launcher. Yes, I haven't played Pharah enough yet, so I have no idea how well this, how fast the rockets fly, so aiming with it is obviously a little bit of a pain. Let's just put it that way. Because needs to work, and so forth. And get over here, that's actually at least nice. I can get over there, and we have another Pharah on the team, which makes this kind of hilarious. Unfortunately, that's the case. And then we have this guy bouncing around, healing up, all good stuff. And of course, I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna put down a rocket barrage, and then I get shot in the rear, as expected. I was utterly expected to die for that, because I had like almost no health whatsoever. But I was expecting to get a few kills. So, round 2 as Pharah. Don't want to change character because I need to learn to play the character no matter what the opposing team is, comprised of. And as usual, I don't want to get into the objective before we can actually, capture it. Because I don't see the point in, everybody dying for the capturable objective before the objective can actually be captured. And this is where, like, my team already ran in there and is now dying for it before the objective could be actually captured. While the enemy team did the intelligent thing and they hung back, let our folks essentially work their way in there to be, shot at from the sides and stuff. So there is that. And I'm gonna try to do a little bit of this whole pokey thing from around the corner, bounce folks around, all that good stuff. Try to avoid some fire, and there we go. managed to get myself over there. This game was played before McCree nerfs. Just something to take in account. Anyways. So finally we get to the objective, we get to get that. Reinhardt grabs the health pack, that's fine. I'm gonna go this way, I'm gonna grab this one. Because full health before the enemy team gets back here is kind of important. Important as always. Trying to scout, essentially. Using the mobility, the flight mechanic to try to scout stuff. It's kind of important, get vision, poke rockets at some way. If you poke rockets towards the enemy team, it's an easy way to tell where, try to tell your team where the enemies are coming in from. If you don't randomly shoot everywhere, but you only shoot when you see enemies, you can, kind of tell your teammates, it's okay, there is somebody there. Something to keep in mind, one reason why I absolutely hate it when people just, fire into random directions and that's that. Even if nobody is there. Okay, so that was a destroyed mech. Go and contest the point. There is Mei with her ice wall and stuff. I am contesting the point and all that good stuff. And frankly, there we go. There is a rocket barrage to get rid of the Mei so she can't freeze me up. Oh well. But there's, get me killed in the end. Right, so we are catching up a little bit on the percentage, managed to, get control of the objective, all that good stuff. People are still fighting out here, that's fine. Trying to get direct shots with this rocket is kind of difficult, which is I'm trying to avoid it for the most part, and of course, right, Reaper to the face. A really bad play by me to actually be there to begin with. Really bad, just like the positioning was horrible by me, straight up, but I can't right away think of like what should have I done to have a different position. Because of like enemies on all sides, but I am gonna go in here. I'm gonna try to work the enemies out of here. That's essentially just what I'm gonna try to do. Managed to trade myself for a McCree at least. So got somebody out of there. Unfortunately nobody really was in position to follow that up. That can be a bit of an issue I also find in the Pharah play. You are so mobile that it's easy to accidentally put yourself in really forward positions like that. So yeah, there is that. Unfortunately, Reinhardt is, well, not unwilling to just straight up get to the point. So, well, that sucks a little bit. So, because this is one of those situations where, like, you have to push or you have to die, as in lose the game. And, well, if you can push, then you have a chance to win. Like, take the risk of the push, and I'm gonna knock myself backwards towards that health pack, but I didn't get the health pack, so there is that. Right, now we have control of the objective, and it's on nicely on overtime, so we have a chance here, and managed to get the Reaper, and managed to get some other folks, so at least our push finally works out. Alright, should have been going to stand on this guy's healing field earlier. I was just afraid of, like, getting slaughtered from the front. From the front, he should have put the this is my opinion, put this on this side of the pillar, because that's where it's much harder to, for the enemy team to just straight up get there. And that was a preemptive rocket barrage, just straight up to try to keep the enemy away from the objective. The fact that this guy managed to get that shot off, well, that just shows my bad positioning on Pharah, just straight up. I knew the windows are there, I should have positioned better. Frankly, straight up. because I should have been aware that yup, they are all around us, right? Try to clear the place, try to put damage on everything, to get rid of the things. Obviously get frozen, and that means death whenever, well, basically every single time. Because if you happen to get frozen, you probably end up dying for it. Unfortunately, the course of action have to stay away from me. I had my wrist rocket to try to knock myself away from there. Unfortunately, I wasn't in time to do so. And then, of course, there is that. Had to get in there to try to stop the capture to essentially contest the point. Managed to contest it for long enough for my team to get over there, but not long enough to actually win the game.
Play of the game.